forcing active duty military to take the COVID vaccine against their wishes, whether they're deep-held religious beliefs or just their personal convictions. And for those servicemen and women who declined to take the COVID vaccine, President Biden fired over 10,000 active servicemen and women. It was an egregious abuse of power. It was wrong. It was grotesque. It was offensive. And as you know, Kurt, I've been leading the fight against that abuse of power, against that COVID vaccine mandate from the very beginning. I've introduced legislation, the Americans Act, that would immediately reinstate every serviceman and woman who was terminated because of it and give them back pay and restitution of their rank. And I will tell you, I led the effort to end the COVID vaccine mandate in the military. And so even during the Biden administration, Congress, we were able to pass into law legislation ending the COVID vaccine mandate so that no longer is the federal government forcing active duty military to take the COVID vaccine. That was a big victory. It was a big victory to do the right thing. Unfortunately, because Joe Biden was president, because the Democrats opposed providing relief to our servicemen and women, when we ended the vaccine mandate, it was prospective only. It was forward-looking only. It gave no relief to the over 10,000 servicemen and women who were wrongfully terminated because they declined to get the COVID vaccine. Here's the good news. On January 20th, Donald Trump became the president. Pete Hegseth is now the Secretary of Defense. You asked if I'd have conversations with President Trump and with Secretary Hegseth. The answer is yes. I've had extensive conversations about them. Secretary Hegseth is committed to allowing those servicemen and women who were wrongfully terminated to re-enlist, to rejoin the military, to rejoin at their prior rank. That's exactly the right thing to do. You know, we've been facing a recruiting crisis where have been having under Joe Biden with the woke military, with the DEI military. We were seeing plummeting enlistment rates, plummeting rates of young men and women being willing to serve and defend this nation. I'm convinced we're going to see those turn around and turn around dramatically. The young men and women want to be part of a fighting force that is defending this nation, that is not a left-wing political organization like Joe Biden and the Democrats were trying to turn the military into, and a natural source of finding qualified, capable men and women who are trained to defend this nation already are the more than 10,000 servicemen and women who were wrongfully terminated. And so I want to see every one of those men and women that want to come back to active duty service be able to do so. And I am confident President Trump and Secretary Hegseth are going to provide that opportunity. And I'll point out, not just our military. The Biden administration used the vaccine mandate to purge our federal government, to purge the FBI, to purge the Border Patrol, to purge every agency of people that they knew were more likely to be conservatives. If you declined to take the COVID vaccine, they knew the odds were you were more likely to be a conservative, and I think this is yet another example of weaponizing the federal government, how the Biden administration targeted conservatives. So I've urged every cabinet member to reach out and provide an opportunity to come back to government service. Anyone who was wrongfully dismissed because they declined to take the COVID vaccine mandate, that was wrong. It was an abuse of power, and we need to turn it around. We need to have the backs of our soldiers and sailors and airmen and Marines and Coast Guardsmen and Guardians, and I'm fighting every day to protect them and protect our veterans. And again, Kurt, thank you for your service.